I went back and watched all three of these again just to actually see what separates them from every other race she's ever run. Because when people say Sha'Carri Richardson's path to greatness comes down to three specific moments, I wanted to check that for myself instead of just repeating it. And after going through all three, I think it holds up. This isn't about her being the most explosive starter in the world, because she isn't, not even close. This is about three specific moments where everything she's built over the years clicked at exactly the right time, in front of exactly the right people. Let's start at the beginning. 2019 NCAA Championships, Austin, Texas, 19 years old. She runs 10.75 seconds, and in that single race breaks the collegiate record and the under 20 world record at the same time. Think about that for a second. One race, two records gone, and she's not even a professional yet. That performance instantly puts her in the same sentence as the fastest women alive before she's even signed a shoe deal. My honest take on this one, this is the race that told the entire sport she wasn't some future prospect to keep an eye on down the road. She was already there, fully formed at 19 years old in college. Now the second race, and this one matters way more than the actual time suggests. 2023, the Silesia Diamond League into the Prefontaine Classic, 10.76 seconds. On paper, that's slower than her college time 4 years earlier, so if you're just looking at the clock, you might miss why this race is even on the list. But you have to understand what she's climbing out of to get to this line. In 2021, her whole world fell apart. She loses her mother days before the biggest race of her life, tests positive for cannabis while grieving, and gets stripped of her Olympic spot entirely. So when she lines up in 2023 against a stacked international field that includes Sha'Carri Jackson, a world-class champion, and beats her, that's not just a good race. That's proof she can still win under real pressure, not just run fast when nothing's on the line. I think this is honestly the most underrated of the three because everybody remembers the fast times, but this is the one that actually rebuilt her credibility. Then you get to the third race, and this is the one that actually cements the whole legacy. Budapest 2023 World Championships final. She draws lane 9, and if you know anything about sprinting, you know that's about the worst position you can possibly get in a championship final. Wind, visibility, everything working against you out there. And she still runs a personal best, 10.65 seconds, beating both Sha'Carri Jackson and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce outright. That's not one legend, that's two in the same race from the worst lane on the track. This is the moment that turns her from a talented sprinter with a complicated story into undisputed global greatness. No more argument left to have after that one. Now let's actually break down how she wins these races, because I think this is the part that gets skipped over the most, and it's honestly the most interesting piece of the whole puzzle. She is not a fast starter. I need you to really sit with that, because it goes against everything you'd assume about a world champion sprinter. In her 2023 World semifinal, her block reaction time is 0.222 seconds, which is genuinely slow for that level, slow enough that it forces her into third place in her own heat, and she only makes the final on a time qualification from lane 9, remember? Even in the actual final, the one where she runs her personal best, she sharpens that reaction time down to 0.163, and that's still the third slowest reaction time among all 9 finalists. Third slowest in a world championship final, and she still wins by a wide margin. When you actually pull the split data from races like the Zurich Diamond League in Budapest, she doesn't even officially lead the race until around the 90-meter mark, and elite starters like Fraser-Pryce are gapping her by 0.05 to 0.10 seconds right out of the blocks. Honestly, that number should scare people more than it does, because she's giving away a real head start basically every single time she races, and she's still the one standing on top of the podium at the end. So where's the actual weapon then? Because clearly it's not the start. It's the 30 to 80 meter transition. That's where her whole race lives. Minimal ground contact time, a relaxed upper body that lets her hold her top end speed longer than anybody else in the field, while everybody else who got out faster than her starts decelerating. And this isn't accident or raw talent alone. This is a fully engineered system built around her exact body. She's 5'1", and her block setup is customized specifically for that frame. A modified bunch start with her front pedal about 2 foot lengths back from the line, her shoulders positioned slightly ahead of the starting line to keep constant pressure on the pedals, a front shin angle sitting right around 39 degrees parallel to her torso, and a low heel recovery on that very first step so her foot barely clears the track before striking down and back. Every single piece of that is deliberate. That's not a gifted athlete just running fast. That's a machine built piece by piece specifically for her. And I want to bring up the FloJo comparison here too, because I think the actual numbers tell a story people miss when they just throw the two names together. Her 10.65 averages out to about 33.80 kilometers per hour, while FloJo's 10.49 world record from 1988 averages 34.32. Peak velocity, Richardson tops out around 39.10 kilometers per hour. FloJo hit closer closer to 40.23. So on raw top speed, Flojo's still ahead, no argument there. But here's the part that flips the whole comparison. Richardson makes up that gap through turnover, 4.75 steps per second compared to Flojo's 4.45, because Flojo was 5 feet 7 inches and could eat up ground with massive sweeping strides, while Richardson, shorter, has to get there through pure leg speed instead. She's not winning the same way Flojo won, she's solving the exact same problem with a completely different engine, and honestly, I think that makes what she's doing even more impressive, not less. And once you actually understand all of that mechanical stuff, go back and look at those 3 races again, because you'll notice the exact same pattern showing up every single time. Behind early, closing hard late. That's not 3 separate stories, that's one system working perfectly 3 different times on 3 completely different stages: college, a comeback race, and a world championship final. The mechanics aren't some side conversation here, they're the actual explanation for how she pulled off every single one of those wins. And I think the emotional thread tying all 3 of these together is honestly the best part of the whole story. 2019 announces her to the world. 2021 nearly ends everything. The suspension, losing her mother, all of it stacked on top of a 21-year-old kid. And then 2023 answers that collapse twice in a row. First Prefontaine proving she can still compete at the top, then Budapest proving she's actually better than she was before any of it happened. I feel exactly the way a lot of people watching this back do, genuinely missing watching her race at her absolute peak, wishing she'd gotten a real shot at Elaine Thompson-Herah while they were both at their best, instead of just missing each other by a season or 2. And honestly, I think it's a real shame how little national broadcast attention moments like Budapest actually get, because a performance like that, from lane 9, beating 2 legends, should be replayed constantly, not buried in a highlight nobody outside the sport ever sees. So let's bring this all the way home. 3 races, 3 completely different kinds of proof. Arrival in 2019, resilience in 2023 at Prefontaine, legacy in 2023 at Budapest, and every single one of them won from behind, because of a body and a system built specifically to finish, not to start. I rest my case. Let me know in the comments which of these 3 you think is actually her best. I read every single one of them, and as always, fast is a lifestyle, and if you rock with what we're doing here, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it.